Perfect. Hi, everyone. Welcome to the Woman in Tech Life growth series. Today, I'm really happy to share that we're going to go into more depth in AI. And together with Alejandra, we're going to show you how we manage to be more productive in our everyday activities. Um, so, in order to do that, let's start presenting. In the meantime, I just want to add that you can also write in the comments, share what you do, how you keep yourself productive, and what are your secrets, so we can all learn from each other. Um, share screen, share screen. As you can see, so many tabs, so many things and tasks to do, but uh, everything is manageable when you have really good time management. When we are discussing about AI, I want to see the woman in the front row because I think that women are really doing a lot of multitasking. So we are like AI first adopters, benefits for productivity, and let's dive into more. First of all, if you haven't met me before, my name is Monika Rizovska-Tanevska. I'm a global community director at Women in Tech. I'm really happy to be part of this amazing community and to see each growth, but also personal growth as well. My role has been to help. I love to impact, to do creative impact, to use technology for doing good. I like also drawing, so I've been several times on Startup Weekend, and I've won 3 times the first um, place, and I'm really into using our power in order to be more creative, but also to be more productive and more useful for our community as well, and for our society. I've been part of many hackathons. I've been organizing many hackathons. I've been mentor. I've been speaker on several conferences, actually more than around probably 100. So, and I'm also mom of two small kids under 3. So as you can see, it's I have a lot of things on my plate, but I never leave AI on side because AI is a huge impact for me in a way that it gives me more time with my people. My career storyline shortly. So I've been part of Women in Tech Global as a community director around 3 years. I've been part of Macedonian chapter, and also I've been part of Ways to Help. It's a startup helping families and even children in order to help them with payment of bills. And of course, I'm part of AI Collective, which is also another initiative in order to boost creators and on how we can use more and create more applications, platforms with AI instead of just consuming internet and distractions. Which challenges I faced? Maybe someone will rely on this. That I had usually when I was working on voluntary positions and so on, I had no resources, no experience at a specific time for specific tasks. I was lacking also mentors, and I really didn't like administration and documentation. I really hated long and unnecessary meetings because I really think that time should be used wisely, and I didn't have enough time for creative process, which is something that really feeds my soul because my hidden why is actually being using creativity in order to be more productive. In the end, after so many years of discussing and also being on many topics and courses about how we can be more productive, that one thing I concluded was that women often lack resources, not ideas. We and when we have digital tools plus AI, we can scale efficiently, especially women, because women are we as women are using empathy a lot. So it's a really good, and it's always all the productivity outcomes are usually connected with impact. When used wisely, it turns local impact into global visibility, as Women in Tech is at the moment. And it will also raise a lot of new members. And hope if you're not our member, you're gonna become our member for sure. And of course, conclusion is that we have to find our own mentors, maybe proactively. We don't need to wait for them just to show up. We need to search for them and actively involve them in our life as support team. network intentionally, proactively, especially if you are part of Women in Tech. This is one thing I really recommend, is that you should connect with all people who can contribute to your career, maybe schedule calls and meetings in order for you to get in touch with the relevant stakeholders for boosting your productivity, but also boosting your idea if you have maybe a startup and if you have a business. Of course, not to end. You can always join with Age, because with Age has also several other communities where you can actually join and join AI creators, join Moms in Tech, join other sub communities for development of QA, of development, depending on what kind of things you are. As I mentioned, besides Women in Tech, one of the things that most people connect me with is Ways to Help. It's how you can use technology in order to be more impactful. And I'm really happy to share that now we have almost 12 million donation, 12 million donations for this kind of charity. So good things can happen if you really value your time, and if you also use your power or creativity in order to do something better for the community, or for the children in our case, from families that really need help. Alongside this, I want to also mention that why I want to share some activities is that I'm also part of one educational center where we teach kids how to adopt the technology, and also how to use the technology from 3 to 13 years. And this is happening in North Macedonia. And yes, in the end, I just want to emphasize, no matter what you do, no matter what kind of activities or what kind of roles you have in your life, we need to embrace the micro trends. So at the moment, now is truly, I believe that now is truly our chance to rise, because we can use AI as agent, and we can have our own company with several employees, which are actually the AI agents and so on. And especially we're gonna rise as women. We really have the in genetics, we have the code for doing and using AI for good. The microtrends and are that at the moment, even people are using AI as friend. We can chat with AI. With AI can write us and reply back as a dear friend. Or you can climb the mountain and use your friend as AI, and so on. You can use AI. We have also people driveless. Cars which you can use without drivers, and it's really impactful that now even the most I would say everything is getting automated. Maybe it's not in your city at the moment, but it's gonna be in the future. So it's really impactful for us to know what are the trends and how we can actually use them in order to embrace them. 2 days ago, Meta also showed that there are also new glasses that you can actually use them in order to shoot videos, and also detect interesting patterns in your environment, and use AI in order to have sensors in your eyes and so on. So it's impactful to know that even now every normal glass will become also more affordable for every person. And soon, I believe that almost everybody will use specific kind of AI glasses that actually have also cameras on them on there. Now it's really not the time where you can say, I don't have resources, I don't have money, I don't have time, because actually the thing that you're lacking at the moment, it's not excuse, it's a lack of focus, and it's lack of usage of technology in a more creative way in order for you to be more productive. But for you to be more productive, the first thing and number one is to have your own goals, or to have your dream, right? So first of all, please try to write your dream. Start thinking what should be your first priority, maybe where should your focus go, because focus at the moment, especially in this time of distractions and AI applications and so many newest changes in the technologies, is our greatest advantage. So practice use cases. So we're gonna go through practical use cases, and of course, in time, I just want to encourage you to build your own personal prompt library, because this is gonna help you in your ordinary task, and also how to adapt yourself to be better. So if we want to start, you're gonna get this presentation. We're gonna send it to you as a link in the chat of live LinkedIn Live. So if you want to try specific prompts, you can actually use here some of the prompts and so on. And sorry, and this and other useful prompts. That example, this is a more clear prompt. This is why we're gonna use it as an example. Is that first of all, you need to have whenever you use learning language models, especially learning language models which include Claude, Perplexity, ChatGPT, Gemini, or any other learning language model as Grok or Microsoft Copilot. The number one thing is that you need to give you need to communicate the model what kind of input you wanna receive, and you need, in order for the outcome to happen, the input is very important, and the input is basically you need to have a role. Example, you are a world class copywriter. You rewrite this example landing page, sales pitch, email to convert better, make it punchy, concise, and persuasive. Use proven framework like this and this and so on. And this is the original. The best case of giving the advanced prompt is the role, context, what kind of output you prefer to receive, in what format, in which format. Example, I want to receive this in Google Slides or PNG form, or just a JPEG, or maybe PDF, and also maybe landing page, well, like HTML. And in this way, you actually give the prompt or communicate with the learning language model, which what kind of role the model should have in order to provide you the best answer, but also what kind of outcome you prefer. And if you have examples of the perfect output, you can also attach this, and in order to get a better input. Number one thing that usually people use AI is basically psychology. They are checking what I can do in this situation. Maybe people also write about their issues, like maybe with weight. I'm very fat. I want to lower my kilos. How I can do that, and so on. So, and basically, many people started to use AI, starting from ChatGPT. Now, of course, there are many other even more famous learning language models, but ChatGPT, Claude, or Gemini are the ones that are at the moment mostly used. And the second prompt for psychology, it will be like act like a Nobel-winning psychologist. You can see that here there is also a clear role. You're giving a role to the learning language model, and then you can say analyze my team behavior pattern, describe it more in detail. Example, my team has 14 people. I need to send them clear role definition, so on. So everything that you can feed the model will improve the answer in the future, because the more we feed it. Example, this is the situation that happened in this department has 3 people. These are the people. So maybe if these people had some specific test for psychology, you can also attach the test in the test of psychology for all the people in the team. And in the future, when you're gonna put enter after this prompt, it's gonna give you even more precise answer on how you can actually improve. There are many other useful prompts. You can use them. You can use them either on Claude, either on Gemini, either on any other learning language model. But this is the basics that you really need to use prompting really well. And another thing which is really smart is that if you use prompting well, or at least with one prompt, you can add everything that you need in order to get the outcome. You're practically saving 3 liters of water, of clean water, instead of wasting it for several prompts and using it for, I don't know, maybe 12 liters of water just for you to get one answer that you could have gotten it just with one prompt. So let's be more practical. Let's save our time, but let's save also our nature with n liters of water, right? So it's here you can use the other prompts which are really cool. We can also maybe share also example of how and what we can do with one prompt. But basically, you can also do a project manager management roadmap, like basic stuff, but maybe also very useful prompts that you're gonna actually see like competitor X-ray vision, like analyze this competitor with the website offer. When you are analyzing websites offer, maybe using Perplexity is also really good, because Perplexity is as a learning language model is actually using more and more information from other open websites, and it can give you more data regarding competitor analysis. So you can maybe have you can use this prompt in the chat for Perplexity, and then also rate it and see which other learning language model is maybe even better. There is also several prompts here that be brutally honest through told partner to sharpen your thinking. Like I want to buy this kind of house, right? These are the pros and cons for the house, and act like my personal thought partner. Describe the idea, the issue, the problem, or the challenge that you are having, right? And make your learning language model as your best friend in order to help you to choose better or to have a better decision. In the end, I just want to emphasize that even though these models will provide you answers, always double check them, make sure to bring your authenticity, and never rely fully on the answers that you are getting, because the number one thing is that these learning language models are always gonna give you the answers that you wanna receive in order for you to be satisfied, because this is how they work. And the more you use them, the more we use them, uh, the more we realize that we want to get answers. So sometimes these models do hallucinations, and when they're doing hallucinations, it's important for us to be aware that these things can happen, and that we cannot rely fully on the answers, because we might get answer that is really not the case or not true. So please always double check the answers. Don't rely fully on the answers provided by the model, unless you are feeding the prompt fully, or sending the attachment completely in order for you to get the proper answer. There are several productivity tools, like maybe Gemini. This you can use. Maybe also share them with us as a result. Like there are so many cool formats. Like you can use also these infographics. Just feed the model with the request that you prefer for this specific task. You can do also these infographics just with one prompt, if you feed the model with your details. And besides, when we are discussing about AI, sorry, I really had to go through the basics of prompting and the formula of prompting, which is, always give the role, the context, the format, and the output, in which way we want to receive it, in which kind of form, whether it should be like a downloadable PDF or anything else that we prefer more. When we think about prompting, not maybe today we didn't have a coffee, or I don't know, we are not creative enough. So in order for us to give a better prompt, maybe we can use reverse prompting, and this is why I want to also emphasize this as well, that how we can do reverse prompting is basically you can add in the chat like that you are a reverse prompt engineer, and I need you to give me a good prompt for the below scenario, so I can use this learning language model. And this is you explain the scenario example. The scenario can be, I need to give a short presentation for best AI tools in startups and so on. And you can just put enter, and it's gonna give you the fully and detailed prompt for this specific need. So always do reverse prompting in case you are not creative with prompts, and it's really gonna help you, especially when you're building website with Lovable or any kind of model that you would really like to have just one prompt in order not to use more credits and to use the free versions of these models. So let's work smarter and not harder. The smart diagnostics, like you can always do smart diagnostic, like you can do smart diagnostic with especially as I mentioned for checking the competitors. You can use Perplexity, SpyView, customer digital twins. Like you can simulate behavior to improve decisions. Instead of buyer persona, build a simulation of the buyer persona. Like if you have a business, or if you're having a specific case for marketing, like this is a really cool way of to do a smart diagnostic with help of AI. And here you can also have you're gonna get also a link for to GitHub in order how you can use and build up AI agents, because we have really not enough time for us to go through everything, but this is just the beginning. And so let's try to use AI in the most better way to be better in marketing, but also better for businesses or for products. So no matter what you do, the number one thing is always do reality check or do smart diagnostics. And smart diagnostics can be done based on with AI and especially prompts. You can also check the practical tools. And always when we are doing time management life check, we need to do our maybe check on how we are using actually our time. One app which I use by now is also it's called rescuetime.com. It's really good for tracking and saving our time. Because even if you don't use Rescue Time, at least check your Google Calendar and see how you actually spend your time and where your time goes and where are those proper those time for meetings and so on had results or paid your check, right? The numbers. The second thing I really love to use is AI assistants, and this is one thing which is really smart, because whenever we are, as an example, as a global community director, you cannot have meetings in different time zones, but you can also have AI agent in order for you to be more prepared and to have inputs from all the meetings that you could have been in it, but you weren't able to because of different time zones, right? So Otter AI, it's free at time. One of the partially is also free, so you can attach it to your maybe you can also share in the comments what else you use besides Otter AI. But there is also other way of using AI assistants, maybe Otter AI, maybe Fireflies AI, and many other because they're resistant. So you can also attach this to your Google Calendar or maybe your company emails, if your company allows you to track your meetings with AI assistants, because you know that AI gets information from your meetings. And after a while, especially if your meeting is done in English, it's gonna give you a proper summary, also action steps, so you can actually use it after your meetings. Fireflies AI, as I mentioned, is pretty much similar as Otter AI and other famous tools for builders. If you want to advance, get more advanced, I think that you cannot do automations if you don't use Make.com. Make.com has really good and free academy, so you can actually check how all the videos that Make.com has them. I have to have the disclaimer that for none of these tools we are not paid. This is just what we use and what we think that could be good for you. And Make.com is really cool because you can do connections and you can actually have websites connected with Make.com, so you can build it on freely, and it's really easy to use. Um, this is also another thing that also connects the things and does automations, but in case you're starting with these ones, so maybe you can also do another webinar for these two, because these two really deserve also 1 hour of explanation or even more, to be honest. And Lovable is one of the most famous applications, which is mostly used for vibe coding. You can join the community. There's community she builds here, and also there are websites you can create applications and so on. And this is good for creating prototypes because it's easy to create it just with one prompt and so on. And for one thing which I want to emphasize for Lovable is that it's better to revise your prompt with other applications as Claude, as Gemini, or maybe ChatGPT also, in order to make the whole prompt for creating example. If you're creating a website, you can double check everything that whether you're having to your normal non-paid Claude version, and then type the prompt completely in Lovable, and soon you're gonna get results. Maybe I can show you what I've done with Lovable quite soon. I think it's here. Lovable is very interesting because, example, I recently created my first website. Okay, so you can see just typing what I wanna have, and this is actually how it looks. See, I just typed everything, and if you see this is really created just in 5 minutes. Like you can just pop up the font, and of course the connection is done through make.com. This is actually how make.com looks, and how these two example Google Sheets and is connected to Lovable, and see with one prompt how everything can look better. And example, if we use the form here, we can type example something here, and also here, and submit it here, and you're gonna see that see the message received will be in touch with 24 hours. And here I will probably also receive the first seed. This I received the first income, the first input from this website, and this is completely done with Lovable, just with one prompt in 5 minutes, right? But the refinement, the previous refinement was done basically with lots of prompts on Canva and lots of prompts uh, on Claude, precisely. I used more Claude this time. So besides using vibe coding or no code application in order to create the platforms and so on, now it's definitely the time when everything that you wanted to do, you can actually use it as a Lovable for the free version. At least in 24 hours, you're gonna get more credits. So one thing per day, you can create several prototypes or platforms. So stay tuned, and why not? Like maybe one of the prototypes in the 7 days of the weeks will be one of the things that might succeed with investors, and maybe you can apply for deep tech startups and so on. Nano Banana is one thing that is connected with Gemini, because Nano Banana is connected with Google. And if you're using Google storage, maybe you can also get access to these tools for free. Napkin AI, it's perfect because it gives you visuals from data, for example, Excel sheets and so on. It can give you a really cool way of how you can visualize the data you've received. HeyGen is perfect because it gives you video generation. So you can maybe shoot a video at least 10 minutes and so on from different directions and so on. Your voice can be also part of the video, and soon with the help of HeyGen, you can actually have several more videos for application or for doing something else. Synthesia.io is basically similar as HeyGen, sorry. So these two are really useful. I've used basically this for also teaching my kid on better ethics with Santa Claus, as this video actually here is. So the Santa Claus was telling to my son that he needs to be better in improving in order to get more gifts. So maybe you can use it for your work, but you can also use it for other creative activities. Videos are no way of having excuse that now you cannot have videos, because now you have really so many free resources that you can actually use in order to generate video. In order, AI gives us more time to build, and more time to build relationships for sure, and to be better, to use all our creativity to build better things. But we first need to optimize ourselves first, and we need to build a support team, whether it's gonna be by joining a community who actually builds again something useful. So always try to hang out with people who are in the same I would say phase of building and so on, because this support team is gonna help you to push and move forward. So having a community as a support team is really important, especially I'm saying it from my perspective as well. And technology is really powerful, but the purpose makes it more impactful. So first of all, again, I'm emphasizing we need to have focus and the purpose, and the technology can just boost it to be better. And then I just want to say thank you so much, and I hope some of these cool tips might help you. And I really hope that you're gonna use these interesting prompts in order for you to build better. And if you are interested to go more into also vibe coding in the future, maybe we can organize another webinar. But now I wanna give the power or the floor to one of my colleagues that I truly love and adore, and that's Alex.
Hello, Monica. Oh my gosh, the amount of tools available. Thank you so much for Japanese presentation, and I was looking at some of the just comments and people were saying, I guess, just talking about prompting the AI, and I think that is the one of the biggest takeaway. And I didn't know that you painted, so it's really interesting. Your creativity, that's amazing. And yeah, I guess we wanted to do a little bit of a Q&A for AI. And the main thing for me joining, or I was really excited to join when you proposed talking about AI and how do you use it on a management or a leadership position. Um, for me, the most important thing I think is two things. One, when we talk about leadership, we are seeing a change in culture in terms of leadership. Back in the day, that you were the leader, it meant that you knew most and you were the person who knew most, and that's why you were in that leadership position. Now we're seeing a shift on leaders not only have to know, but that have to be really quick learners. We just saw through your presentation the amount of materials out there, the amount of tools out there, all these things that can be great assets for you to have as leader, to save time, to coordinate your team better, to bring ideas to life in seconds. You can create websites in just minutes. So there is definitely a big shift on the things that we are able to use at hand. However, as a leader, I think the biggest thing will be how quick can you learn. And the second thing is they always say that AI is not going to replace you, but someone who knows how to use AI will. And I agree with that statement to an extent, but I also think is incomplete. It's not just someone who knows how to use AI, but also someone who has the flexibility to learn things really quick. So when you ask me the question, to come on board and say what type of tools do you use, I would say all of the ones you listed, I have used them at least once. I love Synthesia, for example. It's really great to make onboarding videos and things like that, make it really easy. And of course, I use Claude and I use ChatGPT and I use Gemini. And I think, like many of us, I go back and forth between the different tools. But I would love to know what in particular are you curious about in terms of like how I manage certain things.
Knowing you, Alex, like I don't know, I think she's very modest, but if you haven't met Alejandra, she did so many changes at Women in Tech, like in organizational perspective, and I really love how you do presentations. So, what are your three tools that you are using on your daily basis? Maybe that would be my first question, and also, what are the perfect? You're very famous in our circle for creating, so for really having a good touch for design and for aesthetics. So what are your I would say 3 points on how you can be better in creating visuals, especially with AI?
Oh, those are very good questions. Well, in terms of slide decks and things like that, I love using beautiful AI. I think nowadays it's really easy to see when someone has used AI to create something. So you can use things like Gamma, or even Gemini sometimes can create pretty okay slide decks. But I think it's too obvious when someone has just prompt the AI, it created a presentation, they downloaded it, and now they're presenting it. And I have very little tolerance for that. I think information is very valuable, and slide decks, so at the end of the day, are still the way you communicate with people and the way you present things. So to me, beautiful AI is a really clean way to really help me bring my ideas to life without replacing what I wanted to say. So it doesn't replace my thought process. I still see myself on the slide deck. I still see my own words. So it doesn't feel like I'm trying to adjust to the slide deck. The slide deck works for me. And also, I would definitely recommend it for people who are not really good at designing, who are not really good at creating presentations, or have trouble organizing their thoughts. Beautiful AI makes it really easy. Um, I talk about beautiful AI so much that sometimes people think I work for them. And that is probably one of the biggest one I use. In terms of the branding and how to make things more creative, I think the biggest thing is to understand your brand. And it goes back to what you were saying, like AI is a way to bring your ideas to life. Is not giving you ideas, like you're not living through the AI is helping you. So don't think AI is smarter than you still very much the brain behind it. And making sure you prop it properly, that you put all the branding there. But this branding, you have to remember that is your identity. So what is your identity? So before you prompt any AI, you have to be very clear on what is your identity, what is the language that you want to use, what guidelines do you want to have. And this is not something AI will do for you. It will do it for you, but it will get lost in the process. It will no longer be you. So even the website that you showed us in Lovable, I'm sure that while using Canva, it's still very much your essence. Like you can still see Monica in there, right? So I think it's very important that when you're creating with AI, make sure you take the time to also look into yourself and what is it that you want to put out there. So
Perfect. Thank you, Alex. And what about organization? Like, how do you manage to use? Do you use AI in maybe Excel's, like documents, or any other specific organization tool that you use? Like, what kind of uh, I would say task management system? What do you use?
actually, that's a really good question, because most organizations now, if you use there's Airtables, there is Notion, um, even Claude has good Excel prompts for that. But at the end of the day, no matter which one you use, even you share in Lovable, it goes to a Google Sheet through Make. So Make is a big one that I use. I love Make because it really helps connect everything and create really easy workflows for you. So everything makes it easy. So I love Make. The second one is Shortcut AI. Shortcut AI is one that is specifically for Excel or Google Sheets. And the reason why I love this one for organizing everything is that because no matter what tools you use out there, no matter if it's Notion or Airtable, or if you use Perplexity, or no matter what you use, at the end, everything always ends up in an Excel, especially from an operations perspective. No matter what, somehow you still need a list, you still need to filter data, you still need to organize data, you still need to have a way to have a workflow and process that makes sense for you. So Shortcut AI makes it super easy to organize that. So from the operations perspective, I use that one. And I use Claude a lot to help me organize my thought process. But again, it's not that AI is smarter than you or thinks for you. Is that AI helps you bring all of your ideas out. And I love at the beginning of your presentation, you were talking about as a women, that is kind of how our brain looks, all these tabs open, right? Like it's like all these tabs open in our brain. And I think finding different tools in AI that somehow close those tabs and help you get take task done. But those are the two big ones that I use. Shortcut AI, Make, and Claude are, I think these are things I use almost every day. So
I want to also tackle another question. I usually go through directly tech things, like whether it's operations, whether it's the design, whether it's presentations, whether it's creating websites, prototypes of products and so on. Whether do you use AI for your kids as a mom? How do you organize yourself as a mom too, or inside the family and so on?
yeah.
Maybe while you're thinking, I can also share one thing. Maybe some other mom would also use it as well. My son usually wants to have, the bedtime story, and I usually want to connect it with him, so he could be the main role. And I usually use the AI. Like I type the prototype. I type the prompt and say, please read a bedtime story as a older grandma, like over 70, with a really nice, grandma voice, slowly, so he could understand. Please do that in English, so he could actually learn English and adapt to English better as a language. And one thing I'm saying, like, he should be the main character, and they maybe his best friend, the hippo, because hippo is his best toy that he actually co-sleeps. Um, use it in the story, and after that, like one thing which is really cool, because he's like really excited. Mom, can the grandma read us again another story the next day? And maybe he's also requiring, like a color book with the same story. And that's the next thing, that when he wakes up, he usually wants to get, the blank page, so he could actually color the story and reread it in advance. And one thing I'm doing this, maybe some sort of connected with psychology, is basically I'm teaching him like bonton stories, like how he could, say good morning to elder people, like welcome, or so other things that in the story are inside, like mentioned in advance. What do you use from AI, or whether do you use AI? Are you okay with using AI as a parent and so on? Uh, I have to say, as a parent, I also don't like my kids to spend more time in with screens. I limit that to, I don't know, maximum 30 minutes per day, based on the age. Because when I discussed with several, people who are working with kids, there is like age limitation, because there are specific cases with kids. I don't want to enter that area, but acronism is another thing that's happening and in this time. But how do you, as a mom, plan to? Now your daughter is very small, but how do you organize yourself, and whether do you plan to adapt AI in your techniques as a mom?
That's a very good question. I think that as a first time mom, probably like a lot of first time parents, I go to ChatGPT a lot. Just because, yeah, my daughter is too young yet to start adapting her to AI. In terms of how much she would use it, I think we have to be realistic in the fact that it is part of our life and it is there to stay. So how we use it and how we use it safely is another question. But I love the idea of the story. Actually, I'm gonna keep that one. But I think as a first time mom, AI is like my go-to for anything. Before I call the doctor, I'm like, she's 10 months old, she ate this today, and she has this problem. And actually, I think it has been really helpful, and it has become like my go-to, and it makes things a little bit easier. And it creates a chart also. I have a chart and a pattern for certain things like milestones, uh, introducing solids and things like that. So as a mom, I definitely use AI a lot for that. And one thing I want to say that you mentioned, I love that you prompted as a grandma that is 70 years old that can voice. And I think that is something also really important to mention. As women in tech and using AI, know that there is a huge bias in AI. So AI by design, quite literally, is quite male dominated. So there's a huge bias in AI. So whenever you prompt AI, make sure you say you're a woman. So tell AI that you are a woman. So let's take over AI. Let's empower more women in AI. So make sure you tell them that you're a woman, and that you, and also the position that you're in, because this also helps from the AI. And this is a conversation I recently had in a conference, and one of the persons there actually said, "Oh, for the first time ever, there's no more biases because now we have AI." And I was thinking, actually, there's a huge bias now, because now once again there's a limitation on the biases through AI. So I like that you prompted specifically as a female, because you, that is also a very important thing to keep in mind, to prompt it. Tell them you're a woman.
To be honest, one of the things why I used the plumal, because my kids don't have don't have the opportunity to be with their grandmas, and this is one of the things I will, when you're lacking this thing, like you try to make it. I would say, try to find a way how you can compensate it in some specific way. I see that there was one question in the chat, like what do I use for bedtime stories? I practically use ChatGPT, because ChatGPT has also like voice. After that, you can click it and you can say, um, yeah, To be honest, the voice wasn't that good before, but now it's getting better. But you need to describe it better in the prompt, like please use a more calm voice, like more explanation on the end result. How do you want to sound, and it's gonna give you better option. It's not gonna sound like your own grandma for sure, but there are different tools that actually when I researched that there are different tools like 11 labs can actually help you with that as a tool. It can provide you the proper voice, like maybe if you shoot few videos or voice recordings with the grandma sound, it's gonna give you the right grandma sound. In our case, I didn't have that, so I was totally fine with the normal any kind of woman tone. But I agree with Alex. We have to teach the models to be more, I would say, ethical and the more, I would say, concise. And the more we feed them with proper data, the more better they will be. One thing I'm really happy is that I saw that if you type on Claude example specifically, if the prompt is example, I wanna give me like I don't want to have a black person or any kind of negative tone of like racistic request. The prompt back on Claude or any also ChatGPT is gonna be, this is not the way that you should prompt. Please refine it because we're not gonna give you the answer to that. Like it's kind of so I do believe that this kind of change goes from top to down. Like I think the models are getting better in order to be more ethical. Like so, this is the good thing I see from the models, that they're adjusting to the request. But these requests need to start from us, right? We need to notice the mistakes and and report it. So let's be all the force that brings the change also in these models. So thanks, Alex, for mentioning that. And we have 10 more minutes for answering questions.
I actually had a question for you, Monica, because
Okay.
you are such a creative person. I was just thinking, so what is your take on now the, like I was saying, people can make flyers or presentations quite easily, and all of a sudden it looks like super creative, but it's not really creative. It's just like AI made it for you. So, what is your take on that? How can you use AI to encourage your creativity without killing your creativity? Because now it's doing it for you rather than with you.
What I really like to do is maybe like you can draw something on your paper, like have a notebook, write something, and then take a picture of it and attach it like a image. Like I wanna, please create me a poster. Example, today I was required from a friend. They're gonna do a music festival in another city, and that she told me, can you please do me a poster for this agenda? And one thing I did, you can also use drawings. Maybe you can use previous designs that you built from your scratch, like from your creativity, and also attach them in order like please make sure this design is aligned with the previous designs. It includes this kind of logo, so attach everything in the prompt. I have to say that some of the prompts can you can have attachment up to 10 attachments. In order for you to attach even more, you can just say to the model, please wait until I attach all the attachments I want to attach and then I will say to you go. Because if you don't give this kind of sentence or prompt in the prompting, the model will start immediately using your credits and is gonna work on the attachments that you've attached. So maybe just proper prompting, you're gonna receive the presentation. So there are also cool examples on how you can build posters as well. But in order for us to be authentic, I do think that maybe you can use drawings, like maybe you can use different types of previous art or previous specific posters that you've created in order for you to do the model to give you the proper or at least similar style of design for you to be more authentic. I always emphasize the word authenticity because at the moment I think two things are gonna define us whether we're gonna survive the AI revolution. The first thing is focus, whether you know what you want and whether you have focus. And the second, how to be authentic and how to build up our reputation. because the number one thing after every other digitalization and AI is how you can still be reliable, and how people can recognize you as a really good person to work with. And that's basically building relationships and uh, building up our reputation as such. So I want to emphasize and maybe end this session, Alex, that maybe you can also add something on this, that I want to say to everybody, yes, now it's the time for us as women to be more productive with AI, to be more creative with AI in order for us to have more time to spend with our close people, to build relationships, because I do believe that AI is here to replace the repetitive tasks, which are, I would say, boring. For me, it was administration. For some person, might be something else, right? But if you use the time, you're gonna get more time, and use the time to spend more time, more to build relationships, to spend time with the people that feed you, that because in the end we are also humans, and human touch and relationships are something that build us as, and make us more happy. So let's be more productive, spend less time at work, and enjoy more time with our friends and family, and maybe even our community, like join Women in Tech, be part of networking events. We're really happy that now in the summer we have cool events with drinks, and maybe we can also share prompts during those times. And I want to give the floor now to Alex. Like, what is your I would say advice on and how you would start? How you, if you started to use AI now, what would be your number one step?
Ooh. I think number one is understand what AI is, especially if you're not familiar, if you're not someone from tech, if you all of a sudden went from Google and started hearing everybody's using ChatGPT or Claude, or you see these ads in your social media, so you start trying to use them. So understand what AI is, because once you understand AI, then you know how to use it properly rather than trying to still use AI as a Google thing. So understand how AI works and understand what AI is. And before you go and sign into other tools, really understand what they can do for you. And the second one is be very flexible, become a quick learner. And also don't spend too much time learning all these things, because the reality is that in a year or two from now, they might be completely obsolete. So use them for what you need. uh, have them help you do what you want to accomplish. Have them as a way to leverage so you can reach your goals. But don't sweat it if it's not working for you. If you don't understand it, move on. There's another one. Try the other one. Find the one they're comfortable with, because the reality is they might not even exist a year or two from now. So when you're making decisions, don't make long-term decisions when it comes to AI tools, because it might be really good right now, but who knows what's going to be next year. So just become a really quick learner so you can adapt quickly to this. So at a personal level, if this is something challenging for you, I would say this is the thing internally to work on. Become a quick adapter. Don't be afraid of change. Don't be afraid to try new things. Become curious about what's out there, rather than, okay, now I know how to use ChatGPT, so ChatGPT is gonna be my forever, tool to solve everything. It's not like that. It doesn't work like that. It can get overwhelming to know what's available. So just address it, like you said, from a creative point of view, from a flexible point of view, and that will help you navigate the AI world a lot better, I think.
I totally agree. Also, I want to emphasize that the reason why we didn't point out, like, now Claude is better for this, Gemini is better for this, is that in almost every second, these models adapt and get better. So, example, if last week Google or Gemini or anything was very good in tasks and so on, now it might be it might be Claude. Now also ChatGPT is getting better with images as well, and previously we had Gemini pretty much better with images. Now ChatGPT is doing great job with images as well. So always when you have a prompt, a ready to go prompt, maybe use it in different chats and just test which prompt or with which learning model will be better for you. And um, my second advice will be choose the model that fits you better. It doesn't matter if, example, everyone is using Claude, and for you ChatGPT is better. Use ChatGPT. Like just test the model, see which model gives you better results. If you have the same prompt, the basic things is just post it on several tabs, like open ChatGPT, Gemini, maybe Perplexity, maybe Microsoft Copilot, right? And then see which model will give you better results. Don't think that things get pretty much change. Like think things can change, especially in the tech industry. Like maybe if today Gemini has issues or bugs, it's not gonna work. Claude will give you better results. Maybe Claude will not give you better results today. Like I'm just saying to you that don't rely on the statistics. Like at the moment, if something is better, that something else wouldn't be better in few seconds. So test the models, use them in advance, and try to find what works better for you. I always suggest to use up to 5 tools, because if you use more tools, you're gonna get lost. I always give say to everybody that who wants to be in touch with what's happening, at least give yourself 1 hour to watch videos on what's the newest trends and what's happening and what could be better, in order for you to explore and be better in this area. But in general, I think that if you truly do a research on the AI tools, at maximum 5 are pretty much normal to use, because the more you use, the more, I would say, over yeah, the notification area will become bigger, I would say. So in order for you to be better, give yourself 1 hour to explore, and maybe test the prompt in several tabs. You will be fine. I see in the chat that there are people who are using Claude, Spark AI, and other tools, and it's really good that thanks to this community, we can actually learn from other tools as well. If someone of you is comfortable also to share interesting cases, and you want to be broadcast also on Growth Series, please let us know. We would like to chat with you and also include you. As I mentioned, Alex is my idol. Like, she's really working in doing great job in Women in Tech. So I was like, oh my God, I have to have you in this area, because when we are discussing about productivity, the first person that I can say that she's really like good, and whenever she says, like, up to her word, she's doing almost a really amazing job for our community. So thank you, Alex, for everything that you do. I know that you are very modest, and but you've done so much for Women in Tech, and also for showing us that you can raise a small daughter and also be very successful in many areas. So you're giving us inspiration as well. And I just want to say that this is one of the webinars that I wanted to use to say that besides these achievements, there's also a mom. There's also, a phase of us that defines us, and we try to manage also to be proactive in the personal life. So this is a really interesting way. And Neil, there's also one comment. Maybe Alex, you can also suggest. There's like for non-AI sounding LinkedIn post, like more tips. Oh my God. From my perspective, I would say that you can also use AI for you to redefine the post, especially if you're not, English speaker, native speaker, and so on. For me, Grammarly helps me a lot because I'm not originally from US or UK. Of course, you probably also noticed. So it helps me to refine my English, to improve it. But I always try to adjust it with my emojis. Especially don't use the AI emojis, because there are specific emojis that are pretty much, we all know that they come from ChatGPT or Claude or any other model. I really like Grok. Grok is, X from the X platform. So Grok is using the data from users who are actually using Twitter. So it's giving a not that formal way of replying, but it really depends what kind of post you have. So I use several in order to adjust it better, but I always give my last edits in my way, because if you just post it in that way, it's not gonna be good. So maybe
Well, actually, it's a good time to mention Dina, that won the awards from Macedonia, and I think is one of the most useful tools that I've seen out there. We just got on border on it, and I'm really excited to try it. And maybe you could mention, I don't actually the award that they won from Women in Tech Macedonia. I think they
Uh,
are
for the deep tech startup, because yes, for those who haven't heard, Dina, DENNAA.ai, she's really doing a remarkable job because she's a woman in tech who created a platform for marketing, and basically she can post whatever you want on different platforms, and she has really interesting onboarding as well. And the more you feed the model, of course, it's gonna give you even better results. And Alex, thanks for mentioning Ina. The founder name is Ina, and the startup name is Dina. This is why it's just sometimes we miss it. We mix it, but it's a really cool way of also using Dina AI for this kind of purposes, also to refine your posts and in order to be better and more human centric than AI to sound like AI. But I also agree with Neil. I think we need to point out that please do not copy paste post from our LinkedIn, because it's always noticeable. Like it's pretty much same. In the end, I understand why people do it, because less time of we don't have that much time for posting. But I think just spending at least 30 seconds more, it's gonna give better results. Like just to refine it and make it more authentic in your way. Thanks, Alex, for mentioning.
No, of course. And thank you so much, Monica. And thank you for your kind words. I really appreciate it. And I think, it's a lot of teamwork to put it all together. And I'm very excited to see what's to come. And I would love to hear people after they get the presentation, see their feedback and what they use AI for as well.
Yes, I will share the link now on the LinkedIn message for the LinkedIn Live that we're having now. And I do hope that people can share the results maybe as attachment in the comment and so on. Just explore the prompts and use them for your purpose. And if someone from you wants to, maybe we can open up a group where we can share the results and even talk more about AI. We can always learn from each other. So I do hope that Growth Insight will become also a sub hub in the with age platform in order to boost each other and be better. And for this time, again, thank you so much, Alex. Thank you everybody who joined us from all the other countries. Thank you, Mitko. We have also men in the audience, which is really good because we promote inclusivity. Thanks to people from South Africa, from Senegal to Bangkok to Turkey to Nigeria, so India. Oh my God, also Paris, and we can't wait to meet you all maybe at the global summit, and let's share and do more better. And if you're really interested, maybe we can also organize a workshop for this, because I think vibe coding is the next step of as we as women in tech we're gonna promote. And let's build each other as entrepreneurs, let's build each other as problem solvers. I think the time is for us now. Let's be more productive. Let's use useful tools and be better. Thank you again. And
Thank you.
don't forget to comment what other topics you would like to get, what are you more interested, and how we can support you in general and our community as well. And of course, join our community with the sticker below, follow withh.com, and talk to you again.
Yeah. Thank you so much, Monica. It was lovely sharing this time with you. And we'll see you next time on the Growth Insight series. Bye bye.